it's not like nobody's going to buy the thing. It's just that a lot of buyers will say, man, that's kind of risky. Again, they're probably going to adjust the price.
I can actually just, before we kind of move on to what I wanted to ask you about next, but I can confirm a little bit of what Alex is saying, because I can remember partner of mine, Josh, where we were looking at a plumbing business a couple of weeks back, and there was so much to like about it because they had teams in place and systems and operations. So like, as far as like the plumbing, I would never have to, like go out there with my plumber's crack and get under a sink and adjust some pipes. Like, so, that was our biggest fear. And so what we were looking for is a situation where they essentially lacked marketing and we could put that piece in and double or triple the business and then again, sell it later. But the issue we ran into is as you mentioned, the owner was getting all the business from referrals. And so it's like, our thought is, okay, if he leaves, then are people still going to want to refer? Because everybody knows this guy in and around town as the guy. And if the guy is no longer there, are they still going to refer those? Because I'm guessing probably not. And then the second thing is there was a licensing thing where the whole business was licensed under him. And if he were to leave, like in his particular state, it wasn't easy to get us a license.
Yeah.
And even though like 99 out of 100 boxes are checked, that one unchecked box is so much risk to a buyer that eventually we just had to say no and kind of walk away.
Yeah, or you would have to put in so many like contingency there. Like, look, you'll get 10% now, and I'm going to like drop out 10% every year, every 6 months, right? I mean, to the point where if he was motivated, we might stick around. But yeah, so you're confirming what we're talking about because you were sitting on the other side of the table.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's like it's a great business in a lot of ways, but it's like, man, if this owner goes and all his relationships go with him, like I can see this being at zero in like 3 weeks from now, and then I essentially just paid money for nothing. So I wanted to ask you a little bit, like, so
I want to say something.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm sorry. Give me a second. Yeah, I want to say something here. I don't want, if you're listening to this, oh my God, my business got to be so pristine. It's got to like, not have a speck of dirt, and it's got to be like, like precise to like the night. No, that's not what we're saying at all. Okay, a lot of what I'm saying is an ideal situation. Trust me, I've saw where the accounting records wasn't pristine. As you saw, basically they just held back the money. The deal still happened. My seller was ecstatic with the money, right? It's just that $350,000 was held back. Again, not the end of the world, but it could have been averted had they known that. It's the first exit. They're going to do 2 more exits with me. So then the next time I say, hey, we just have to have better financial control. Likewise, if you are dependent on referrals, it's not like nobody's going to buy the thing. It's just that a lot of buyers will say, man, that's kind of risky. Again, they're probably going to adjust the price or say, look, until you put in another second thing, we can't pay you top dollar. So you can still sell it. I'm just trying to give you things that you want to do to get top dollar. I'm not saying that if you had these things, the deal's like, oh my God, like nobody's going to touch it. There is no such thing as a perfect business. I'm telling you, even Apple, if you spend an hour on Apple, you've got to be kidding me. Like, this is a public company. Like, what the hell? Like, this is so, when you're running a business, there's so many things happening, right? So we're just trying to give you things that, that if you know about, you can at least keep an eye out for it. Right. So then when a acquirer comes back and says, well, we're concerned about this, you don't think, my God, like this guy's such an a-hole. Why is that a big deal? Well, because to them it's risk. You see, if you understand what they're looking at, you kind of have to, you have a much better idea of how they're looking through their lens. So just kind of want to make that comment. So Otherwise, nothing would ever get sold. Trust me, like no business ever gets sold if they have to be pristine and everything is tip top shape and everything.
Yeah, and service businesses like we do are they're awesome to get started, but they're generally imperfect business anyway. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about like your skill set. So you help people work as a broker, and for a lot of people, they don't understand this. When they see a broker, they look at, like, this is universally true across industries. They look at the fee they're taking, but not the value add they're bringing for that little fee.
Sure.
And in your case, you're a 100x value add, but I'd love to hear just, some of the things that you do that help people facilitate this and just make this whole thing easier and more value and like find hidden money and find quality buyers and a little bit about how your skill set fits into people who are thinking about this sales process.
Right. So as Frankie said, right. So just for succinctness, I tell people I'm a broker, but for positioning perspective, there's a meta lesson here. I tell people I'm a business advisor that brokers businesses, right? And why do I do that? Because as the joke goes, brokers are viewed as worse than pond scum, and that's on a good day. So they said that, right? So that's why I tell people that I'm a business advisor. It helps people, sell their business. But anyway, all joking aside, the value we add is that we know what the buyers look for, right? Plus, we already have a buyer's network. So if you come to us, if you're like an agency, roughly in our sweet spot, give or take, we probably have like 5, 10, 20 buyers already interested in that. I speak to so many buyers on a weekly basis. Let's just say it's a lot, right? Now, here's the part that might blow away most people, right? Because, it's a different world, right? They're like, man, like, because you talk to a customer, they're like, man, like, I don't know, I can afford $500 a month, $1,000 a month. And then you're like, who the hell is this person that's got this $1 million checkbook that's going to buy my car? Like, what the hell is this thing? Like, this some sort of like, three-eye, like a dolphin that's, whatever, right? Like this weird mythical thing that's out there. Trust me when I tell you, there is a staggering amount of money in the world. In fact, the number one thing that my investors talk about, they complain about, is not enough deals.
Yeah.
I have one investment fund, just one, not 20, just one. They're sitting on $100 million of cash. And the number one thing they contact was, Alex, when are you going to get us more deals? Like these folks, that's like these investment funds, call it whatever you want, investment fund, PE companies, whatever, I just call it investment fund as a broad term. Their job, in fact, how they get their bonus, whether they keep their job, meaning whether they get fired or not, depends upon them deploying this money. Okay, so I'm just kind of put it out there. It's until you talk to somebody like myself, you're like, okay, like that doesn't make any damn sense. Well, that's their job, is deploy this money, right? So why is that important? Well, because we have a relationship with those folks. Meaning, if you come to us, we can move the business very, very quickly because we also know what they look for, right? Before you go to market, we say, look, we may want to take, most of the folks that come to us, they usually want to sell within 6 months. The person wants to sell 3 years from now, we can still help, but that's a tightly different person, right? But usually if you're selling 6 months or less, there's certain things you can do to reduce the risk tremendously. Make it so that way the buyers are much more likely to buy it. Likewise, depending on who the buyer is, we can then also identify certain things in your business that you may not realize it's valuable.
Hey guys, if you like this video, you'll probably also like our free Facebook group, Beyond Agency Profits, Agency Lifestyle Design. You can get free copies of the book inside here. I look ridiculous. We're doing weekly Q&As, giving answers to all your questions. Some of the best, smartest, brightest people. We've got lots of industry leaders doing 7, 8 figures and beyond. It's a literal who's who of the brightest agency owners that I know, as well as lots of tips on scaling and stuff, books that work. So if you're not already part of it, you're going to want to be part of it. So make sure to click the link. I put it in the description of the video as well as in the pinned top comment below. So just scroll down and you can join, and it's totally free.